Yo, what's up, guys? It's Lungi. Just came first at local this evening, so this is the prize. 5 copies of the tournament pack. So today I decided to play VAALMONICA Fiend Smith. I originally wanted to play only 40 cards, but I couldn't put in like fewer than like 45 without like cutting the engine or cutting the non-engine, the hand traps, and I just wanted to include like everything. So I just decided to add cards to the engine to make it 60 cards. So I'm playing grass in here, but I didn't see grass this evening. I was just like playing with the engines. So this deck is pretty broken. Really strong fields. I'll make a deck profile probably later on this week. There's a couple of other deck profiles that I've done. So this one is gonna kind of go to the end of the week. Maybe early next week I'll release it after the others that I'm going to release this week. But anyways, I just want to go through the list very quickly. So 3 copies of Celatrus. It's your starter card. Definitely want to see it. Probably your best card in the deck. Really good effect. So if it's normal or pendulum summoned, you can add a VAALMONICA card from your deck to your hand. Just searches your entire engine. And if it's sent to the graveyard while you have your 2 scales, you can just add it back to your hand. So that's some nice recursion as well. And then obviously you play 3 copies of each scale. Scales are really good. The one on the left hand side, it allows you to link summon when your opponent attacks. Link summon of a Monica link monster. And then the one on the right hand side lowers your opponent's attack up to the number of counters. So if you got 1 counter, then it's like 100. They lose 100 attack, which does become relevant when you have like six counters on them. And they got like fat defense, so sometimes you can jump block by having them in defense mode and then having the others in the scale. Bonus monsters have to be like over 20, 26 or 700 to attack over them. And then 3 copies of the Fiend Smith. He's the new guy. He's one of your starters. So this deck has a lot of synergy because you can actually go into the Fiend Smith engine with your VAALMONICA cards, and you can go into the VAALMONICA engine with your Fiend Smith cards. Thanks to like Beatrice. Beatrice can send Rainbow Bridge, and then you can banish Rainbow Bridge to search for your VAALMONICA field spell card. So that's how you can tie the two engines together. Its on-field effect is also pretty relevant. You can summon it to your field from the graveyard, and then you can equip one of your link monsters to it with their effects, and then you can activate his effect, and then you can target the equip and then a monster on your opponent's side of the field, and then you can send them to the graveyard. You can also send your own monsters to the graveyard, but usually you wouldn't do that. Playing Pegasus, Crystal Beast Pegasus for the engine, the Rainbow Bridge engine. So because I pushed it to 60, I decided to add Horus. The Horus package can dig for cards, dig for multiple cards, because you can actually like use your VAALMONICA spells in the graveyard with your pendulums. You just banish them to use their effects from the graveyard. So you don't really care if you mill them. You can also use your Link monster, your Light Fiend Link monster to copy their effects from the graveyard. So it's fine. I saw it a few times today. It was very useful. And then obviously 1 copy of Fabled Lurry for the Fiendsmith engine to discard it. And then I'm playing 1 Snow and then 1 copy of your Mudora, the Shuffler, just to send off of like Beatrice or if I happen to draw grass. I used Mudora today to shuffle back engine cards that I sent to the graveyard. And then we have your VAALMONICA Shelter. Your best spell card. You can either draw 2 cards or you can search for another VAALMONICA spell card. And then only 1 copy of the E-Tally. It kind of sucks on its own. You only really want it when you have Celatrus. So just playing the 1 copy to search it with Celatrus. It's very good otherwise, besides not doing anything on its own, because you can set up your 2 pendulums. You add one to your hand, and then you put the other one in the scale. And if you didn't have scales already, you can just use the one in your hand to set the scales, and then you can pendulum summon the other from the extra deck. So it's very, very good for your combos. And then one copy of the other like newer spell card as well. You can put a counter on, and then you can choose which effect you want to use. Yeah, and then you can choose which effect you want to use. So you can add back from the banished, or you can add one from the graveyard of a Monica card. And then 3 copies of this one. You excavate 5, and then you can add a Valmonica card if you hit any. Then the secondary effect is good when you get trolled. You can just dump your Valmonica card straight to the graveyard, and then you can use this card to retrieve them, or you can use this card to special summon or retrieve your cards. So that's how you play through troll in this deck. 2 copies of grass. Grass is greener. Didn't see it. And then 1 copy of the Horus Field Spell, because you can search for it with the Rainbow Bridge. Rainbow Bridge, only one Valmonica trap card. You don't actually need the other one. This one is just much better, to be honest. The other one can like negate. It's like it's like an imperm kind of that doesn't target, which can be useful. But I just yeah, I didn't feel like you needed it, and I didn't need it this evening. So 1 copy of the Fiend Smith trap card. So this card allows you to basically interrupt your opponent if you get like dark ruled, or if you get like dropleted, because you can either send this on your turn to the graveyard, or you can send it on your opponent's turn. Now, if your opponent special summons a monster, you can banish this card, and then you can send a Fiend Smith monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. So you'll send your fusion. You'll send your level 9 fusion, and then his effect will trigger. You'll shuffle back a Light Fiend monster from your graveyard, and then you can send the card on the field to the graveyard. And I don't think that effect targets. Yeah, so you can just send something on the field to the graveyard. Very, very nice. And then, alright, so we're playing the new Trap Monster card. So you can set this with the new Illusion Rabbit monster. It's very, very good. So you can summon it as a level 4 monster, 1500, 600 defense, and then then you can negate face-up cards up to the number of illusion monsters you control. So this card basically can negate droplets and then negates Dark Ruler no more or whatever. Very, very good card. And then you have triple impermanence. That's it for the main deck. And then for the extra deck, you have your Fiend Smith Link 1, just 1 copy. You can easily recycle it. And then you have your VAALMONICA Link ones. You can't really recycle this one, but this one you can, because it's a light fiend. So your Fiend Smith can actually recycle it. And then you have your Moon Sky, your Link 2. I don't know when this is coming in the TCG, but it's definitely necessary in this deck. Basically puts more light fiends in the graveyard so that you have more fusion materials. And then if you have random monsters, you can just turn them into your Fiendsmith engine. So I think it's mandatory. And then you have your fusion summoner link 2. So you can use light fiends in the graveyard. You're most of the time just like fusion summoning Lacrimosa. Very, very good. And then it can also equip itself to a light fiend you control, and then it can't be targeted or something. Alright, so this card is actually amazing. Today I got hit hard with like hand traps, but I still had 2 monsters on board. So I just summoned this guy, and then he basically allows you to negate spells, traps, or monster effects. And they can't kill him in battle because he's an illusion monster, and he's got that stipulation. So this card is absolutely like crazy. Just two effect monsters, and then you just need to play like 1 copy of this card. I think this card can still negate even if you don't have him on the field, even if it's just like this card by itself can still negate. So it's not actually bad to draw. So yeah, like he's part of your inboard in this deck. Like you just want to summon this guy and then set like a pseudo kind of like omni negates. Very, very good. And then obviously you have your SP Little Knights. And then you have your VAALMONICA Link 2, your boss monster. Yeah, it makes it very easy to kill your opponent with this thing. This card plus 2 level 4s. You can attack 3 times. So that's 9,000 damage. And then also it's a walking solemn judgment. If you have counters, just remove 3 counters and you can negate the summon. And it's unaffected when you have like 6 counters. Yeah, crazy card. Yeah, I summoned it today a few times. And then Apollosa didn't summon Apollosa today, but it's necessary to be able to um, play through Nibiru or play around Nibiru. Summon Apollosa first and then go for your plays. And then one Abyss Dweller, I summoned it against Tempai. This card is actually really good against Tempai. If you have a Abyss Dweller, I don't think they can OTK you, because they won't be able to revive their level 10 or level 7 from the graveyard. So that's actually really big. It's really big. So if you can actually chump block, you can just prevent them from OTKing you. So I did play against Tenpai. I summoned Abyss Dweller. Summoned Abyss Dweller both games, and yeah, it stopped him from OTKing on top of the other like cards that I had on the field. Yeah, if they can't use the graveyard, like it's very hard for them to try and OTK. Beatrice, probably the best card in the extra deck. One of the best cards in the game. One of the best cards ever printed. Crazy. And then you have Caesar. Caesar. You can make Caesar pretty easily with the Fiend Smith engine. I did summon him today as well. And then you have your Zombie Vampire for the Horus engine. Lacrimosa, and then one copy of Diesel. Yeah, Diesel. So sometimes you'll summon Diesel because he's also like an Omni Negate. He can negate anything pretty much. But most of the time, you'll be sending him with a trap card. And then Lacrimosa is your playmaker. You can add back a fiend from the graveyard, a light fiend, or you can special summon it. Or banishment as well, if they like banish your Fiend Smith. You're the Fiend Smith. Yeah, so that is it for the deck. Side deck is just some generic stuff, Dark Ruler, etc. Yeah, Dark Ruler, and then the new card, Vesper Girsu or whatever. I drew it, but I didn't really need it because we were in time. So VAALMONICA, Fiend Smith is very good in time because Lacrimosa, if it's into the graveyard, you can shuffle back a Light Fiend and then you can burn for 1200. So you can do that on your turn, and then you can also do that on your opponent's turn. Yeah, because you can send him to the graveyard, burn for 12, put him back on your opponent's turn. Yeah, on the opponent's turn, you can use this to send him to the graveyard and then burn for 12. So that's 24 already in time. And then you can also just focus on like the life point gain part of the effects of the VAALMONICA cards. And they can use this to copy the effects. So you can make like a very big like life points deficit in time, and you can easily like chump block and just like negate your opponent's stuff. So yeah, this deck is really good in time as well. But anyway, that's it for the deck profile. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will bring you more deck profiles pretty soon. All right, peace.